A single steel rail can carry the weight of 100 loaded train cars, again and again, thousands of times a day, and somehow it never sinks into the ground. And underneath it, not concrete, not steel supports, just loose stones, millions of them spread out for millions of miles, under almost every railway on Earth. But why, after nearly 2 centuries of railway innovation, are those stones still there? Today, we uncover the secret behind one of the simplest ideas in railway history. Welcome to Everyday Secrets, where ordinary things hide extraordinary stories. It looks like a leftover, something from the 19th century that nobody bothered to modernize. A cheap, outdated fix that railway companies just never got around to replacing. It seems obvious. It seems logical, but it's almost completely wrong. These stones aren't a leftover. They're one of the most quietly sophisticated pieces of engineering you'll ever stand on. And the fact that they're still here after 2 centuries of technological progress isn't neglect. It's a choice engineers keep making on purpose every single day. So what are these stones actually doing under there? And why hasn't anyone replaced them? Start with the weight itself. A modern freight train doesn't just sit on the rail, it hammers it. Every axle rolling over a single point of track can press down with a force of around 100 pounds per square inch, thousands of times a day. So how is the rail still sitting perfectly level after decades? The stones aren't there to hold that weight. They're there to break it apart. Each one touches only a handful of others at sharp, uneven points of contact. When the weight comes down, it doesn't slam into one solid mass. It scatters, stone to stone to stone, fanning out until it reaches the earth below as a whisper instead of a shockwave. But if loose stones absorb shock so well, why not use smooth ones? Round, weathered stones, like the ones on a riverbed, seem like they'd be even softer, even more forgiving. Railway ballast is never round. It's crushed, split, jagged, deliberately broken into sharp, irregular fragments. And that's not a shortcut. It's the entire reason the system works. Picture smooth river pebbles versus crushed rock. Marbles roll. Under repeated vibration, they'd creep sideways, and the track above would drift out of alignment within days. Sharp-edged stones do the opposite. Their broken faces lock together, tooth against tooth, and the harder something pushes down, the tighter that lock becomes. Engineers don't settle for jagged stones. They specifically reject the smooth ones. Every stone on that track was broken on purpose because a round one is a future derailment waiting to happen. So the stones absorb weight, and their shape keeps them locked in place. That should be the end of the story. Except the stones have 2 enemies working against them every single day, and neither one has anything to do with weight at all. The first is water. Rain doesn't just fall on the tracks. It has to disappear immediately, because water trapped underneath a rail is far more dangerous than water sitting on top of one. In freezing climates, water that seeps into the ground beneath the track and then freezes will expand, pushing the entire track bed upward unevenly, section by section. The stones exist to stop that before it starts. Because they're loose and irregularly shaped, water runs straight through the gaps between them instead of pooling, draining away before it ever reaches the ground below. A sealed surface would trap that water instantly. An open field of broken stone lets it vanish in minutes. The second enemy grows instead of falls. Left alone, grass and weeds will colonize any strip of undisturbed ground within a single season. And their roots do something track engineers dread. They pry. Roots expand into every crack they can find, and over months they can lift a rail out of alignment by exploiting the smallest weakness in the ground beneath it. A bed of sharp, shifting stone gives a root nothing to hold on to. There's no still soil to colonize, no soft ground to anchor into, just an unstable, draining surface that gets disturbed every time a train passes over it. The stones don't just resist weeds, they make it almost impossible for anything to take root in the first place. Weight, shape, water, weeds, four completely different problems, solved by the exact same layer of loose rock. But there's still one question left unanswered. Why call them ballast at all? That word has nothing to do with railways. It comes from somewhere you'd never expect, the ocean. Centuries before the first steam engine, sailing ships that had unloaded their cargo at port were dangerously light and unstable, riding high in the water and prone to capsizing in rough seas. To fix this, crews loaded the empty hull with stone and gravel just to weigh the ship down and keep it steady. A ship in this state was sailing in ballast. When railways began appearing in the early 1800s, engineers noticed the exact same problem sitting right in front of them, a rigid structure that needed weight, drainage, and stability to stay put under stress. And they borrowed both the solution and the word. The stones under your local railway are named after a trick sailors used to keep ships from capsizing. And that history explains something else. Why, after 200 years of engineering progress, this outdated solution is still standard almost everywhere on Earth. It isn't that nobody found an alternative. Solid concrete slab track exists right now, and it's used on high-speed lines in Japan, parts of China, and select tunnels across Europe. Because at extreme speeds, even tiny shifts in loose stone become dangerous. But slab track is dramatically more expensive to build, and when it fails, it has to be broken apart and rebuilt. Loose stone, by contrast, can be repaired one section at a time. A machine simply lifts the rail, adds fresh stone underneath, and lowers it back down, often without shutting down the line for more than a few hours. For the vast majority of railways on the planet, that trade-off still favors stone, just as it did in 1840. So the next time you're standing on a platform, waiting for a train, look down. What looks like gravel dumped there out of laziness is actually absorbing 100 pounds of pressure per square inch, draining a rainstorm in real time, starving out every weed trying to grow beneath it, and carrying a name borrowed from sailors who never saw a train in their life. If this changed how you see the ground under every railway you'll ever stand on, hit the like button. Share it with someone who's always wondered why there are so many stones along railway tracks. And subscribe to Everyday Secrets for more hidden stories behind ordinary things. Which of these reasons surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments.